Hello, everyone. If you're looking for a comedy, you've come to the right place. This video compiles the top 5 most killer comedies. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll get started. 10th place goes to The Hangover. 2 days before his wedding, Doe and his 3 friends drive to Las Vegas for a blowout bachelor party they'll never forget. But in fact, when the 3 groomsmen wake up the next morning, they can't remember a thing. For some reason, they find a tiger in the bathroom and a 6-month-old baby in the closet of their suite at Caesar's Palace. The one thing they can't find is Doe. With no clue as to what transpired and little time to spare, the trio must retrace their hazy steps and all their bad decisions in order to figure out where things went wrong and hopefully get Doe back to LA in time to walk down the aisle. Next on the list is Grown Ups. Is a comedy about 5 friends and former teammates who reunite years later to honor the passing of their childhood basketball coach. With their wives and kids in tow, they spend the 4th of July holiday weekend together at the lake house where they celebrated their championship years earlier. Picking up where they left off, they discover why growing older doesn't mean growing up. Due date ranks 8 in our ranking. Peter Hyman is an expectant first-time father whose wife's due date is a mere 5 days away. As Peter hurries to catch a flight home from Atlanta to be at her side for the birth, his best intentions go completely awry when a chance encounter with aspiring actor Ethan Tremblay forces Peter to hitch a ride with Ethan on what turns out to be a cross-country road trip that will ultimately destroy several cars, numerous friendships, and Peter's last nerve. In 7th place is Deadpool. Based upon Marvel Comics' most unconventional anti-hero, Deadpool tells the origin story of former Special Forces operative turned mercenary Wade Wilson, who after being subjected to a rogue experiment that leaves him with accelerated healing powers, adopts the alter ego Deadpool. Armed with his new abilities and a dark, twisted sense of humor, Deadpool hunts down the man who nearly destroyed his life. The 6th rank belongs to the film tag. 1 month every year, 5 highly competitive friends hit the ground running in a no-holds, barred game of tag they've been playing since the 1st grade, risking their necks, their jobs, and their relationships to take each other down with the battle cry, "You're it." This year, the game coincides with the wedding of their only undefeated player, which should finally make him an easy target. But he knows they're coming, and he's ready. Based on a true story, Tag shows how far some guys will go to be the last man standing. 5th place goes to Vacation. As a child, Rusty Griswold spent his summer vacations traveling around the country with his parents and sister. But most of all, he remembered a fun trip to Wally World, an amusement park with many rides. Now Rusty is a grown man, a loving husband, and a caring father of 2 sons. To bring the family together, Rusty decides to take a vacation and travel across the country to the same amusement park where his happy childhood was spent. The careful planning of the trip even includes the purchase of a new car, so the trip promises to be comfortable and exciting. That's just the adventures of Griswold begins as soon as the family loaded into the new car, and as far away from home, the number of curiosities and problems increases, becoming a snowball. The most unforgettable vacations are ahead of the family. Next on the list is Spy. Susan Cooper, a grey mouse, works for the CIA, but not as a secret agent, but a simple office clerk who no one notices. Susan is an invisible frontline fighter, the eyes and ears of secret agent Bradley Fine, with whom she is paired. True, while Spy Fine conducts covert operations around the world, Susan stays no further than her office, monitoring Bradley's movements and helping him solve any looming problems. Susan is secretly in love with Fine and is willing to do anything for this brave, handsome man. But while on another mission to find a nuclear bomb, Fine gets into big trouble and dies as a result. The CIA needs an inconspicuous spy whose appearance is unknown to the owner of the nuclear bomb, Raina Boyanova. Now Susan gets a unique chance to make her cherished dream come true and become a secret agent, which leads to fun and very exciting adventures. Why him? Ranks 3 in our ranking. Since the birth of his daughter Stephanie, the hero of the comedy film Why Him, Ned Fleming has been very attached to her, for she has been his little princess and has become practically the center of the universe. Over the years, he has watched the little girl grow into a beautiful woman. Ned believes that no chosen one is worthy of Stephanie, but the daughter still decides to introduce her lover to the family. To do this, Ned and his wife Barb and son Scotty come to Stanford to visit Stephanie's boyfriend, the eccentric billionaire Laird Mayhew. Except that too loose guy who is used to express his thoughts rather straightforwardly and using strong words, not too like Ned. And Laird's way of life shocks Ned, who increasingly wonders, why him? Why did Stephanie choose this particular underling? Why did Stephanie choose this particular underling? When the loving father learns that the crazy Laird is going to propose to his daughter, it leads to a real rivalry, the consequences of which will be very unpredictable. In second place is Daddy's Home. It so happens that marriages break up and spouses are forced to separate in order not to ruin each other's lives and the lives of their children. Sometimes former spouses remarry and create a new family, but sometimes they strongly regret the lost happiness and strive to return it. So it happened with the hero of the comedy film Hello Dad, New Year, Dusty Mason, who separated from his wife and was forced to live away from his beloved children. His ex-wife Linda is remarried to her beloved man Brad, who is busy raising children and is very happy to have such a beautiful family. But one day Dusty realizes how much he misses Linda and the children, so he decides to return to his family. However, Brad is not happy at all with the appearance of his ex-husband, who, moreover, is not only handsome but also a real man in every sense. Between men begins a real rivalry for the attention of children, which generates a lot of funny situations and very funny adventures. Who will win this battle? And we have finally come to the first place in our top. First place goes to We're the Millers. Desperate moves in desperate situations. David feels hopeless with his life when the drugs he deals were stolen as they got into a fight between the gangsters mocking Casey. David got a call for an offer to smuggle drugs. David comes up with a strategy of pretending as a family traveling to Mexico for a road trip using a bus. So Rose as his wife, then Casey and Kenny as their children. The journey unfolds when they met a family traveling elsewhere for a road trip as well, when David found out the father as a cop. Kenny falls in love with the daughter, but were dumped because Kenny, Rose and Casey were caught kissing him as a practice. As David discovers that Pablo Picasso, the drug owner, is fake, his boss set him deadline to deliver say drugs to him, but David fails to because of unexpected circumstances. Rose, Casey, and Kenny were clueless about the amount of money for commission David receives. David became greedy but went back to reconcile with the family he has established. David failed to deliver the drugs on time, so he was not paid, but the FBI, with the help of the father of the other family, caught them. The Millers were under investigation, so they were living on the same house till it's over. David and Rose developed a sweet and loving relationship. They continued to plant marijuana though. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to not miss the new top movies.